Hola.
Good. Hola. Hola, Sue.
Good. Well, there's probably a few still joining us, but I think we've got the bulk of the class. We've had a few apologies today because some people are playing golf, some people have gone to Norfolk. It's warm sunshine. It's
and the rest are down the pub.
whoa, wouldn't that be a nice thing? Now our pub doesn't open in the village until Wednesday, but they've got the most useless beer garden ever. It's round the east side of the pub, so the sun disappears about 2 o'clock. Hopeless. Right, good. Well, it's nice to see everybody. Hope everybody had a good Easter.
Yep.
I did.
Yep.
And we'll get cracking. So today we've got some of the regular stuff. We're going to start with homework, which seems ages ago now. We've got a couple more verbs that we're going to practice. We're just revising our conjugations in the present tense. So most of us are doing all right with that. Although this week there was one that I just couldn't get into my head, and I had to look it up in the end. So there we go. We've got the next chapters of our book. Getting quite exciting now. And this month, April, there's a chuckle from somebody, yes, who expected Enrique and Lena to be an item.
Yeah.
It's worse than he said this. So April is National Poetry Month, and it's National Poetry Month all over the world. So I thought that it would be a good idea to spend the 3 weeks, the 3 lessons that we've got in April, looking at some poetry and maybe writing some poetry as well. I've never tried to write any Spanish poetry, and I'm pretty useless at English poetry. I know Bryn likes the odd limerick. I don't know what the Spanish version of a limerick is, but maybe we'll try some try some poetry towards the end of the month when we've had suitable inspiration. So we'll kick off with our homework, and we were revising possessive adjectives. Now I think everybody's pretty good at these, but it doesn't hurt to just have a quick revision, because what happens is that you sort of know it, but then you just forget some of the little detail, like it's all the plurals have got to add up, and all the genders have got to agree, and then it doesn't. It all falls to pieces. So we've been doing pretty well on this. So let's have a look at. Everybody managed to do the homework, okay?
Yeah.
Good. So let's have a crack. Ken is sitting near the door.
Yeah.
In the classroom, as well as the virtual classroom. So do you want to kick off with these 6 examples?
I have a recurring question in a minute. But
okay.
Let me do the first one. It says estos zapatos son míos, but all my textbooks say son los míos. They put L or L in front of it. Could you spend a second on that, please?
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
These I'm going to be brutally honest, I've never been able to fathom definite articles in Spanish, because sometimes sometimes they use. When I was in Ecuador, I said to Lucy that there's a big volcano that's near their home in Ambato called Tungurahua, and it's 90% of the time it's in mist, and I've never seen it before. All the times I've been there, I've never seen it. And then one morning I was there a couple of years ago. It was crystal clear, and I said to Lucy, I saw Tungurahua this morning, and I just said, Yo vi Tungurahua esta mañana in my Spanglish, and she said, El Tungurahua, and I said, oh, you've got to say El Tungurahua, and then I'll put it in another sentence, and she'd say, no, you don't need it. I'm like, could you explain the rules? And she says, no, you just doesn't sound right.
Okay.
So,
Eric,
so yeah.
In my little grammar book, it said when possessive pronouns follow the verb ser, you can usually leave out la, los, las.
All right.
But they can be retained for emphasis.
Right. Okay.
So they give the example, estas llaves son mías, these keys are mine, and then the same sentence, estas llaves son las mías, so to say, look, these are mine.
Right, okay, yeah, so a
that
little bit like the personal pronouns, you don't necessarily need to say Joe, but you can do if you want to emphasize it.
Okay, thanks for that. That's good.
We've got that come in after the word like como, like, and I didn't understand why it goes in there. It's like como, quiero comprar un abrigo nuevo, como el tío. I would have just said como tío, but when I checked it on Spanish Dict, it came up with como el tío.
Yeah. I tend to use them rather than not use them.
Okay.
So I tend to put it in, and I often
Just wouldn't occur to me to put them in if I just translated it as I thought and didn't look at it.
No. Well, we wouldn't use it in English, and presumably you wouldn't use a direct object in German either in that instance, would you? I don't know German, but I'm guessing you wouldn't.
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
It's been that long since I've spoken German.
So I'll try and have another conversation with Lucy.
Please.
But when I've asked her in the past, she just said, it doesn't sound right. It sounds right. So Spanish ears obviously get that. They also use it as a term of endearment. So they'll often call people the Lucy, La Lucia, La Julia. My granddaughter is generally called La Julia by her parents and her grandparents. We wouldn't dream of calling somebody the Julia, and it seems to be a term of endearment in that case.
Okay.
But yeah, there we go.
Okay. Right.
But you were bang on, son mías, and it's fine to say son los mías if you want to put it beyond all reasonable doubt.
Okay. Do you want me to proceed?
Yes, please, Ken, if you do this.
Esas faldas son las tuyas.
Yeah.
And este polífago es de, now then, de Eric or el tuyo. Wasn't sure about that one.
Well, I've simply said o tuyo. I wouldn't put lo tuyo.
El tuyo.
Maybe an el tuyo.
Yeah. I said, sorry, Eric or el tuyo.
Okay. Well, I will.
Okay.
I'm just writing a note on these to ask Lucia if she can expand. I like your new shoes. They are like Sylvia's. How did you get on with that?
Me gustan tus zapatos nuevos son como los zapatos de Silvia.
Muy bien. I just said Los de Silvia.
Understand.
I think you need it. It's like those of Sylvia.
Yeah. Is that it?
I want to buy a new coat like yours.
Quiero comprar un abrigo nuevo como los tuyos.
Como el tuyo.
Sorry,
because-
singular.
yeah,
Singular.
only-
El tuyo.
yeah,
El tuyo.
there's only
Thank
one.
you.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
only one.
Yeah.
Ken, when you say nuevo, don't forget the u and the e need to be sounded. So we tend to merge them together in English, like neutral.
Yes.
But nue, you need that nue
Nuevo.
sound. Nuevo.
Nuevo.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Nuevo. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And these sweets are mine, those are yours. Children's argument here.
Me again?
Yeah, yes, please. Making you work
My
hard.
God. Estos dulces son los míos. Esos dulces son los tuyos.
Brilliant. That's great. I didn't put the losses in, but
I understand.
yeah,
I said I wasn't sure.
no, we'll get a definite decision on this. Okay. Suzanne, you've jumped up below Ken, so you're next in the firing line. Real is my team, Atletico is yours.
El Real es mi equipo, el Atlético es tuyo.
Yeah, I put an L in there, es el tuyo.
Yes, I have got L.
Have you?
Oh, es el tuyo. No, I didn't put that in. But didn't somebody just say if it's after son or s, you only put it in for emphasis?
Yeah.
So you don't have to, do you?
No, that's
That's
fine.
fine. Okay.
So Lucia has so many clothes. Are all these hers?
Lucia tiene tanta ropa, son todo ellas suyas.
Now, I treated clothes as plural.
Singular.
Singular.
Yeah.
Singular, sí. Ropa.
Okay.
Ropa.
Always singular, aren't they?
La ropa. Well, it's la ropa. Yeah. I'll query this again. I just think that if you're talking about clothes as a concept, then definitely it's singular. It's like sheep or people. But when you start picking them apart, I think it might become plural. I don't know.
Vestidos, tantos vestidos.
Yeah. You start. I should have said dresses, shouldn't I? Then it would have avoided this question.
Eric,
I'll query that as well. Yes, Mangala. Yeah.
yeah, Eric, you have said ropa singular, Lucia
It is.
tiene,
Yeah.
and then you say todas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they should be toda
Well.
because the ropa is feminine. So
That's right. But I was sort of I was thinking different items of clothing. Let me consult my Spanish-speaking daughter-in-law. And
all right, sorry.
We'll come back on that. And if you're right, I'll definitely admit it. Honestly. Okay.
Eric.
Sorry. Yes, Maggie. Sorry.
Why is it in that last sentence? Why is it suyos?
Well, because I'm treating clothes as plural.
Yes, but
Why is it suyos instead of suyas?
Yes,
Well,
why is it masculine?
I'm also treating the clothes as being a mixture of masculine and
Yes,
feminine
yeah.
items. Therefore, the vestidos and the faldas and the camisas and the camisetas, they're a mixture of masculine and feminine. So obviously, if there's one masculine,
I thought it was la ropa.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, I
Isn't it
thought it
la
had.
ropa?
I thought it would be feminine because of ropa.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Well, like I say, I'll investigate further,
Mhm.
and we'll.
Have you noticed it's all women speaking up?
Well, I just here's something else to confuse.
like the government, I shall launch an investigation.
And
We'll report back in 3 years, and it will say we were right all along.
you see, it wasn't just the suyos or suya, but estas. I think I put estas. Yes, I put estas suyas.
So it should be son. It should be s, not son.
I think they definitely use "ser," not a star.
But no, estas. You know, are all these hers?
Yeah, that's what I've said. Are all.
Well, if you put suyas, you've got to put estas, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Female
Yeah.
or male.
If it was suyas, it would be estas, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Surely, you know, the
I'm
thing
not
is,
arguing with the son.
No.
That's what I put, but it was
you just consider
the
that
last
statement-
bit of that sentence.
if you consider that statement as a totally separate sentence, nothing to do with the first, it's a general statement. Are all of these hers?
Yeah.
Then the way it's typed is all masculine.
Yeah.
Perfectly acceptable.
Of course, Shanta, you wanted to ask something.
Yeah. When there's a group of people and 20 women and 1 man, you still refer to as a masculine.
That's correct. Yes. That's
and if you have got a masculine collection of clothes and feminine collection of clothes, depending on the
Gender.
la, L, whatever. So it would be referred to as is. That's what I think. Maybe you're right.
Yeah. Well.
Suyos.
Well, I'll.
They use it, Lucia's clothes. Why
Well,
they should be
Lucia's
masculine?
clothes, they're not
Yeah,
general
why masculine?
clothes that.
Maybe she wears men's clothes also. You don't know.
Well, it's
No,
not whether it's
female.
Hang on, it's not whether it's men's clothes or women's clothes, because a dress is el vestido.
Exactly.
A dress is a masculine noun, so you only need 1 pair of trousers in there, and the whole lot turns male. So,
just to throw in an extra one, if you ask Google Translate, which I did because that's what I do if I get stuck. Toda esta ropa es tuya.
Yes, I wrote the same.
Okay. All right.
Oh well, Lucia will have to throw some light on it.
Well, I'll email her this evening. Okay, I've forgotten who was doing it now. It's Suzanne, isn't it? Is it Suzanne?
Yes, dear.
Yeah. I have to iron all his clothes.
Tengo que planchar todo su ropa.
Muy bien.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It should be toda, isn't it? Toda su ropa.
Toda su ropa. See? Yeah.
I always thought if it's closed, it's always love. That's why it confused me that the su goes in there.
Don't go over that again.
Assumed whose clothes they are.
Well, his clothes or her clothes. Sue is gender neutral. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
His clothes or her clothes would be Sue, and it doesn't matter whether it's clothes or a masculine noun. It will still be Sue because it's his. It's Sue. It's gender neutral, so it doesn't matter. Do you like my new car?
Te gusto mi coche nueve?
Yep, nuevo.
Te gusto, it should be te
Nuevo,
gusto.
yes.
Yeah, te
Nuevo.
gusto. Mi auto nuevo. That's fine. Yeah, I've got an error in there. Are they friends of yours?
Son amigos tuyos?
They are your friends. Yeah, I've got EOS in there just to make it sure.
Well, I thought that, but then I did Spanish dict and it came up just with that. So I thought I must.
Son amigos tuyos. Yeah, okay. Well, I think either is fine. Are those women friends of yours?
Son esas mujeres amigas tuyos?
Mujeres.
Tuyas.
Tuyas. Son. Just say that again, Suzanne, please. Sorry.
Son esas mujeres amigas tuyos?
Tuyas. Should be tuyas because it's there.
Tuyas, yes.
Yeah. I've done a slightly different. Aquellas. They're a bit further away in my version. Aquellas mujeres son amigas tuyas. So there we go.
Eric,
Right.
excuse me. Eric, do you have to have mujeres because it's amigas? Does that not like show well it's feminine anyway?
Well, are those women? So we're asking, are those women friends of yours? Well, yeah, I get your point. You could for brevity just say that they are your friends. Those women are your friends. I just think. Did you what did you have, John? Did you just have son amigas tuyas?
Yeah.
Did you, John McNichol? What did you have? You've gone back on silent.
Son estas amigas tuyas.
Son estas amigas tuyas.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Son esas amigas suyas.
I kind of think that's in the wrong order. I think you've got the verb in the wrong place there. Yeah. Okay. We'll have a full investigation and we'll report back.
That last sentence, I would have put it like the way you've put it. I would have said esas mujeres son amigas tuyas, but then Spanish Dick put it the other way around. Does it matter if it's like son mujeres? No, esas mujeres son amigas tuyas or son esas mujeres? It doesn't matter, does it?
I'm not sure. I mean, if Spanish dictators put it like that, that's generally pretty good, I think.
Well, that's Spanish dict. I would have
yeah.
done it your way, but maybe that's just British thinking.
Right, okay, well, that could well be. Yeah, could well be British thinking. It's perfectly possible that both are right, or it's perfectly possible that I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
Thank you.
Good. Well done, everybody. So let's have a look at our verb practice. So we've completed quite a few now. This week I want to look at here and there, to go and to see. So let's just pick a person to do this. So we started off with you're all changing places. It's like musical chairs, the Zoom. I wish I could lock you into position. We've done Mangala, haven't we? And we've done Suzanne. So John's next in line, according to this. John McNichol. If you can, you just muted yourself again, John. Asking more questions. Can you conjugate ear in the present indicative?
Hoy vas Van, vamos, I'm not sure what vosotros is, and vienen.
Okay, so let's go through them. Voy,
Vas, yeah.
vas, va,
Va.
yeah,
Vamos.
not the S. Vamos is the one we never forget, isn't it? Vosotros, vais, and ellos, ellas, instead is van.
Oh, no, yeah, thank
So there we go. So supplementary question, John, can you translate those sentences into Spanish?
Yo voy a mirar para una falda nueva como tuyo, como tuyas.
Okay. Pretty good. We're going to use ear in this case to create the future tense, aren't we? So voy, voya. It's always got to have an noun, which you correctly did. So to look for, to search for, or to look for is buscar, and that means to look for. So you don't need a noun after it. So you would if it's there. There, you're going to see to something or look at something. So buscar un vestido. Falda is a skirt, not a dress. Un vestido nuevo. It's masculine noun, even though it's a feminine garment. Como el tuyo. Are you going to the shops, John? Could you get me a newspaper? How about that? Are you? Let's do it in the informal, in the to form, yeah.
Tu vas del tiendas.
Could you? What is can you? Can to be able to.
I've forgotten, sorry, Hick.
So that's all right. I've given you brain freeze. It's always the same when you get put on the spot, isn't it? It's so to be able is poder, isn't it? So you could would be puedes, but if it's could you can is puedes, but could you we'll put it into the conditional. So podrías. And to get, do you remember the verb to get or to?
Traer.
Traer would be the first one, I think, in this one. You could maybe say coger, but traer. Yeah. So podrías traer, and because it's get me, it's in the infinitive. You can put the pronoun on the end. So traer un. What's a newspaper?
Periodical.
Periodical. Sí. Gracias las tiendas. Podrías traerme un periódico. Yeah. Good. Well done. It's easy until you get put on the spot, and it develops a whole new life of its own, doesn't it? So the next one we want to do is there. There. How do you feel about there, Bren? Are you?
Vio. VS. They. Vemos. VS. Ven.
Okay. What was the first one?
Vio.
Veo.
Veo. Sorry, veo. Veo. Ves. Ve. Vemos. VS. Ven.
Then. Muy bien. Yeah. It's got from there. It doesn't matter if you're the or b. I don't think the Spanish would be happy with veo, ves, ve, vemos, veis, then. How about these, Bren? We can see the lighthouse from our balcony.
Vimos the lighthouse.
Okay, that's a tricky one. It's a masculine, faro.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like
yeah.
like the what was the wonder of the world, a pharos at Alexandria. Different spelling, but faro.
Yeah.
Vemos el faro.
Yeah. So it's actually Podemos.
Podemos there. Yeah.
Yeah, Podemos. VS.
No, just use it in the infinitive because it's
okay. Yeah.
Got the two verbs together. So
yeah. Sorry. Wait, Podemos ver el faro de al balcony.
Nuestro balcón.
En nuestro.
Somebody's helping me out there. Yeah, that's good.
Balcón.
Yeah. Podemos ver el faro desde nuestro balcón. Yeah. What about tell me what you see?
Me hold on. Dijiste, me dijiste que ves.
Ves. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I said dime que ves. Dime que ves. So I've used the imperative. You know, you're giving somebody a command. Tell me what you see. So that's
I was going to do that, but I thought I'd do the other way.
Yeah, me di would be fine. Me di would be fine. You don't have to hook the pronoun on the end. I find it easy to remember these imperatives if I do. So dime. And in the formal, it's diga. So you'd often hear people say, "Dígame, tell me."
I think they say that in shops, don't they?
Yeah, and dígame. And sometimes, sometimes when they answer the phone, they'll just pick the phone up. They don't say Madrid 63214. They say dígame. So it's like, whoa. So it means tell me. Yeah. So in the negative, it works slightly differently. So you have in the negative, it's D in the is to tell me. In the negative, still in the imperative, it's digas. But you can't say no digas me. You have to say no me digas. Or no me diga if it's formal. And Lucy used to say she always heard her grandma talking with her friends, and she kept hearing her say, "No me digas," which is you don't say. There was obviously some hot gossip being imparted there. So threw the imperative in just to keep you all on your toes. We're getting through these verbs. We've not got too many more to go for. So we're getting through them. Which is great. So what we have now is Climen and Barcelona. How are we doing for time? Is it 2:30? Is it 2 o'clock yet?
It's 4:30.
Oh gosh, look at that. My timing's all over. I've not got my clock with me right now. Okay, so well, this took an interesting turn, didn't it? Lena and Enrique are lovers, and what's more, Aldo spots them leaving the couple's hotel. Couple's hotels are a strange arrangement, isn't it? I think there used to be one in Fengate, didn't there? What was it called? Not that I know about this, but I understand. There was one called what was it, Bryn? The Formula One?
Yeah, I'm given to understand, I think.
Yeah. Formula One hotel where you could just book a tiny room by the hour. Anyway, Lena and Enrique have been caught red-handed. So we're going to read and translate. We'll do chapter 39. So we'll have two readers and two translators. So next one on the list is Maggie.
Right.
Are you okay to read down as far as the italic starts, Maggie?
Okay.
And Shanta is underneath you. So Shanta, are you able to do the translation? You're on mute at the moment. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. So Maggie, you pick.
Alas, cinco y cincuenta. Yeah. Enrique ya está sentado en el bar Las Rosas. Lina llega poco después de las seis.
De las seis, sí.
De las seis. Desde hace 4 meses, Lina y Enrique son amantes. Se ven a escondidas y tienen citas como si fueran novios. Ambos saben que es algo muy arriesgado, pero a ninguno de los dos les importa. Enrique pide un café doble y Lina un cappuccino. Mientras hablan, se toman de las manos.
Gracias. Shanta, ¿puedes traducir?
Yep. See, at 5:50 p.m., Enrique was already sat in the bar Las Rosas. Lina came a little bit later, around 6 p.m. And since last 4 months, Lina and Enrique are lovers. They appear to be hiding and having dates or appointments, or I could translate it as they're secretly having dating, or they're secretly dating. Both seem to be both know that they're taking a bit of risk, but both of them neither of them they care. Enrique ordered a double coffee and Lina a cappuccino. During their conversation or when they're talking, they held hands.
Yep, excellent. Yep, perfect. While they talked, they held hands, so they're behaving like a couple of young teenagers, aren't they? Susan, we've got you next, Susan Little, if that's okay to read. And
Actually, no, but I'll try.
Well, do you want to?
Oh, no, I can do it's a translation, which I didn't know.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, you got the reading then. Right. And Julie, if it's okay if you translate?
It's fine.
Thank you. Good. Okay.
Te extraño, Enrique. Quiero que estemos más tiempo juntos. Yo también quiero estar contigo, cariño. Pero ya sabes, pueden descubrirnos. No me importa. Quiero que todos lo sepan. Que todos sepan que te amo, grita Lina. Bueno, no hace falta que grites. Ahora ya lo saben todos en el bar. ¿Contenta? No te entiendo, Enrique. A veces siente que no me quieres. Nada de eso, amor. Esto lo hago porque te quiero. Es para protegerte. Al salir del bar, ambos suben al auto de Enrique.
Yeah, yeah, okay, well done. I think that was read with suitable husky voice. Yes. Thank you, Susan. Julie, you're up.
I miss you, Enrique. I want that we spend more time together. I also want to be with you, sweetheart. But you already know they could find out about us. That doesn't matter. I want everyone to know what they all know of your love. That you know that I love you.
Yeah.
Shouted Lena. Good. No need to shout. Now they all know in the bar. Happy? I don't understand you, Enrique. Sometimes I feel that you don't want me. None of that, my love. It's the thing, because I do want you. It's to protect you. On leaving the bar, they both get into Enrique's car.
Yeah, great. So that's when he says, bueno, no hace falta que grites. Bueno can mean good, certainly, but it's often used as a sort of connecting phrase. So it's like,
okay.
Well is another. So you can sort of say, well,
don't shout.
Don't shout, yeah. Keep it down.
Like you would a child.
Yeah, yes. Good. So in the next chapter, poor old Aldo is hard at work. He's on his way home, and what does he find? Mum and Enrique coming out of the Lovers Hotel. So we've got 2 more chapters this coming. I bet everybody has read the next 6 chapters, because you all want to know what's happening now. I bet you've all read on. But we'll do the next 2 chapters for next week. Okay. There was some good words this week. Some new ones. Well, for me anyway. There was arriesgado, risky, from the verb arriesgar, to risk or to endanger. So, excuse me, swig of Coke. There's also the verb arriesgarse, which is the reflexive form, which means to take a chance or to take a risk. And there's a Spanish phrase, arriesgar el pellejo, which sort of, I guess, translates in English as stick your neck out. So to risk the hide. So piel is skin. Pellejo is an animal skin or animal hide. We do talk in English, don't we, about risking our hide? I wouldn't risk my hide for that. Do we say that still? Is that just completely old-fashioned?
Yes, it's old-fashioned.
It's old-fashioned.
Really?
So, yeah,
like me.
okay.
Like me. Come on,
so Susan and I have heard of it, but Carl's giving us a blank look. He's a new man. So arriesgar is a regular AR verb. So we have yo arriesgo, arriesgas, arriesgar, arriesgamos, arriesgáis, and arriesgan. So it's got those regular endings. There's just one strange thing to watch out for, which is the preterite jo form, which is it's got the U there. Now, why do they stick the U in there? Why have they, Giselle, why have they stuck a U in there? Do you know?
Is it because it's in a hard G?
Ah, yes.
Tell you to say a hard G rather than, because the E would make it soft.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there was just an E there, it would be, which you would expect on a regular AR verb, it would be ANISF. So they stick the U in there to harden the G, ANISF, but you don't pronounce the U, of course. You don't go gue, it's ge. The U is there just to harden the G. Brilliant. Okay. Te extraño. Don't forget the nye is nya. Te extraño. I miss you. Extraño also means, as an adjective, also means strange, doesn't it? Or stranger. But te extraño comes from extrañar, the verb, meaning to miss. It's a regular AR verb. So how would we say? Let's stick with Giselle because she's obviously on form, and she knocked that one for 6. That last question for 6. So how would we say we miss you using extrañar?
Te extrañamos.
Good. Te extrañamos. See, I missed you.
I missed extran. Would it be preterite?
Yeah, just yeah.
Is it EO?
So if you look at the end, it's an AR verb, extrañar, it's regular. So we have the similar situation to this. But of course, we don't need the U, do we? Because,
so te extrañé.
Perfect, perfecto. And we miss you.
Te extrañamos.
It's the same. Yeah, it's there aren't many bonuses in Spanish, but one of the bonuses is that we the nosotros form is the same in the preterite as it is in the present. So that's the bonus in a regular verb. So te extrañamos, te extrañé, and te extrañamos. Obviously, you'd get it. You'd get what it was in context. Perfect. There was also the word sepan. Lina says, "Quiero que todos lo sepan," and sepan is the eos form of saber, to know, in the subjunctive. So why is she speaking in the subjunctive? When do we use the subjunctive? Giselle, when do we use the subjunctive? You just put yourself on mute again. Sorry, keep coming back to you. I'm not doing it to annoy you.
When it's a wish, something that you want.
Absolutely.
Rather than a fact.
Yeah. Because she's expressing a wish or desire. So clearly she wants everybody to know about their love. So she's expressing a wish or a desire, possibly both in this case. Nada de eso, none of that is a good one. And despedir, we've had despedir. before. I think we had it a chapter or two before. It can mean to say goodbye, but it can also mean to fire. I think in the last instance it was when somebody was saying goodbye, but in this instance he's talking about firing somebody, giving somebody the sack. Despedir, he uses that verb. Agotado. This means exhausted. So you could say estoy agotado si eres un hombre, o estoy agotada si eres una mujer. El cartel. It can be a poster, or it can be a sign. So a sign outside the hotel would be el cartel or un cartel. If it's got the accent over the a, it's pretty much a cognate in it. For English, it means a commercial or criminal cartel in the same way as we use it in English. So if you're reading that will give you the indication as to whether it's a sign or a drug racket. Okay, so it's National Poetry Month, Mes Nacional de la Poesía. So I thought it might be an idea to read and translate some poetry, and maybe even write some Spanish poetry ourselves. You know, if you take a Spanish poem, and I've looked at quite a few since I've been learning Spanish. So if you take a Spanish poem and you translate it into English and you read it in English, often it doesn't, it doesn't sound particularly great. But if you read it in Spanish, often there's little, you think, wow, this is really good. This is fantastic. So I think you have to read it than the language it was written in. I mean, there are some great translations into English that really convey, wonderful images. Early translations of the Bible, has some wonderful poetic language, but much better if you read the work in its original language. And today I want to look at a poem by the Cuban poet Jose Marti. That's the guy there. He's got a great big bushy mustache, and his poems have been incorporated into the well-known Cuban song Guantanamera, which I think I sent you a video for. But we've done this in basic class. It's one of the first Spanish songs that I introduce people to, and he wrote these verses here. Carl, how do you fancy giving us a rendition? You're a poetic man, aren't you?
No, I think Giselle's better.
Okay, we'll see how you get on. We'll give you marks out of 10 when you've finished.
We can do it in English alone, Spanish. Cultivo una rosa blanca en junio como en enero para el amigo sinero que me da su mano franca, y para el cual que me arranca el corazón con que vivo, cada ni ortiga cultivo la rosa blanca.
Good. That's good. Thank you very much. And What can we get from that, Carl? Can you spot a rhyme in there?
The rhyming, obviously, winter, enero and Cinero, Blanca and Franca, which is so the cultivating a white rose in June as in winter for our friend for our sincere friends.
Yeah.
Have French hands.
So cultivo una rosa. I grow a white rose in June, as in January. For the el amigo sincero is an honest friend. Yeah,
sincere friend.
Yeah, I mean, you can read different words into them. It's like with any poetry, I think.
Yeah.
Que me das mano franca.
To give my hand, Franca.
No. That offers me, that gives me his open hand or hand of friendship. Yeah? And is it the same rhyming pattern in the next verse, Carl?
Yeah. No, you got the first one was first and last, second and third. This one is first and last, second and third. Yeah. So,
yeah. What does the second verse
and
translate?
For don't know. Cruel, I don't know. Is it cruel? Is it cognate?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and for the cruel person, really.
Oh, Aranka. I didn't know what Aranka was.
Aranka is to pull or to tear. That tears el corazón con que vivo, the heart
of my life, of the life tears the life out, wasn't it? Or tears at the life.
Yeah, the hearts.
Oh, the heart of life.
Yeah.
Cordo, no, or Tango.
Ni ortiga cultivo. So cardo is a thistle.
Okay.
So I grow these things up in my allotment called cardoons, which are like they're like giant thistles. I think the French eat them, but the French eat everything, don't they? And they're like giant thistles, and you can eat the young shoots. They're supposed to taste a little bit like what's it called? What's that thing where you eat the bud? Artichoke. It's supposed to taste a little bit like an artichoke, and they look a little bit like artichokes actually, but cardoons. So cardo is a thistle. It's obviously where cardoon comes from. So thistles, ni ortiga. Ortiga
never grow
thorns. So
thorns.
Thistles nor thorns do I grow.
They grow like the white rose.
No, I grow.
I grow the white rose.
Yeah. So what's he saying? I mean, this is a poem of friendship and reconciliation, and he had quite a hard life, Marty. He was fighting for independence for Cuba most of his life. In fact, all of his life. So he's saying, I grow a white rose in June and January. So I guess in the middle of winter and the middle of summer, for an honest friend who gives me his hand, gives me the hand of friendship. But for the cruel ones that tear the heart from my life, neither thistles nor thorns do I grow. I grow a white rose, and a white rose has some meaning in poetry. Does it?
Is it death? If you use
no, well, a red rose is love. What's What about a white rose, Maggie?
Peace.
Peace.
I don't know.
No, oh, you let me down. I was sure you know. Somebody said peace, peace and reconciliation. Is that a white rose? If you give somebody a white rose, it sounds a bit. It doesn't sound quite right because you can't imagine. It's the flower of Yorkshire, isn't it? And there's anything but.
Treat everybody like a friend, no matter what they do to you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the message of the poem. Yeah. So old Marty was quite a he's quite a man in Cuba. He's considered one of their national martyrs. He campaigned for Cuban independence all his life, also for the abolition of slavery, which was still legal in Cuba towards the end of the 19th century, much long after it had been abolished in the British colonial empire, and also even after the Americans had made slavery illegal. And he was he mainly fought through writing. He wasn't a Che Guevara character. He mainly wrote through. He mainly battled for independence through his writing and pamphlets. But he did get involved in fighting in 1895, and sadly, he was killed at a confrontation called the Battle of the Two Rivers, and his side basically lost. Cuba didn't win independence until about 4 or 5 years later, when America was dragged into the war and defeated Spain in a couple of huge naval battles, where the inadequate Spanish Navy was absolutely annihilated. And Martí now is considered one of Cuba's heroes, even though Cuba didn't, well, I suppose it remained a sort of vassal state of the United States until Castro arrived on the scene and made it into a truly independent, if communist state. There are actually monuments to memorials to Martí all over the world, obviously in Cuba, but there's also monuments to him in Florida and New York, Rome, and also in Cadiz in Spain. He lived in Cadiz for quite a while. There's a monument to him there. If you want to look at more of his poems, you can Google versos sencillos, simple verses, and he's got several hundred poems there. There's a lot of them, but they're all very short, and it's a good exercise in improving your understanding of Spanish to have a read through some of them. And I think that this poem does sort of sum up his idealism. Beryl, you're a poetic person, I bet.
Oh.
Would you read that one for us?
I'll read it. I don't know whether I'll understand. I've got it. No me entierren en lo oscuro, a morir como un traidor. Yo soy bueno, y como bueno moriré de cara al sol.
He says, don't imprison me in darkness to die like a traitor. I am good, and as a good man, I will die with my face to the sun. That's you do find that one in some Guantanamera, when you listen to it, there's probably 15 or 20 verses that you could have, and they just choose which ones they fancy on the day. I think you do get that one quite regularly. It's another Marty favourite, and I like that one. I'd urge you to have a look at his poetry, and it's easy to read, and it has a simple message, I think, and it's interesting to take a look at. So we'll do that. We'll do that in the next few weeks. We'll do some more poetry, and see how we get on. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, try.
Yeah. Is everybody? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's switched off yet. So, la tarea della prossima settimana. So let's read the next two chapters of Crimen in Barcelona. See if Aldo confronts Lena. Who did I? Was that man I saw you with last night? Mum. So that question you want to hear, is it? And I've also got a little exercise about past tense, which I'll ask you to do. Pretty straightforward. So I'll send that round to everybody with the class. I think it would be good if we started to concentrate for the rest of this term on doing some past tenses, the preterite, the imperfect, and the perfect tense as well, so that we can. Very difficult to have a conversation with anybody in Spanish without using past tenses, and it's tricky to remember. So we'll try to get it into our heads and make a start this coming week. So any questions from anybody? Any comments from anybody?
Good.
No? Let me stop the share, and I'll also stop the recording.